Hi, I'm Wala. The Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak's birthday is in a couple of days, and he's been ruling the country for over 27 years now. So it's only fair to try to assess his presidency and to try to understand what will happen after he's gone because, frankly, he's not getting any younger. So, okay, we have to analyze the economic effects, the social effects, and how the core of Egyptian society is being destroyed by this man. And I know that this might sound biased, but if you do not believe me, you can research all this stuff for yourself. Okay, the economic situation in Egypt. 44% of the population is under poverty line. That's under $2 a day. You do not have people like the poor people are not the uneducated ones. You have doctors, lawyers, people with esteem in society that cannot afford the necessities, the basic necessities of life, like bread. It's a shame. Like last year in the bread queues, 15 people died. Okay. Egypt is not a poor country. Egypt is a pretty rich country. We have a lot of resources. But the problem is, it's not the fact that it's not being distributed well or whatever. It's the fact that you have to be one of the businessmen that are in bed with the Egyptian government to be able to get to that money. You have people like Ahmed Ez. He has a monopoly over the steel industry. This guy is relatively young for all the money he made. How did he make this fortune? He's business partners with Gamal Mubarak, our future president, the son of Mr. Mubarak, of course. And you have people like Mamdouh Ismail. This guy owns a boat company. It's a boat. One of his boats sank back in 2006. 1,000 people died. Now this guy was first proclaimed innocent, and then after public outrage, they said he would get 7 years in prison. But where is he now? He's in Britain, living in a fancy mansion, just like all the other businessmen who've embezzled thousands and millions out of Egyptian banks, out of Egyptian pockets, and live now like kings in Canada or in the US or in Switzerland or in Australia. You have people who cannot afford life, people that are supposed to be rich, people that have earned but cannot feed their children, that cannot afford life in Egypt. It's a shame. You have we also have the social costs, which is very disturbing to me. Now, Egypt has one of the CIA torture camps. Obama said he's going to close them down. I really doubt it. Egypt has the CIA camp where they torture people into confessing things. Now, Egypt as a country, as a government, has its own history with torture. They used to torture Muslim Brotherhood members. Now they torture everyone and anyone, politically active or not. You have the story of this guy, Ahmed al-Kibir. This caused the most public outrage I've ever seen, like in Egyptian history. This guy was raped on camera, and the policeman caught it. The policeman caught the tape just to humiliate him in front of his friends. And what was this guy doing? He was trying to help an old street vendor lady who was being harassed by the government. Now, the government said that this guy insulted public figures in Egyptian symbols. A lot of people have been put away for this crime by insulting Egyptian symbols. Who are Egyptian symbols? Mubarak? I hopefully doubt not. I mean, if this guy's a symbol of Egypt, then we're really screwed. And we are screwed because people do not see Egyptian suffering whenever, like, of course we can talk about the right-wing shows where their only connection to Egypt is to the happening in Palestine, which I deeply regret. The happenings in Palestine are since a grave concern of mine. But the Egyptians have been suffering a lot. And even great great shows like Democracy Now, they get the connection, they get Egypt as in what does it mean to Palestine. We are not seen as a people of our own with our own suffering, which really hurts me because Egyptians have been suffering a lot. People die, no one knows about it. Okay, the torture. Torture. This child was tortured to death, and his body was thrown in front of his mom's house. And because he sort of what did they say? They said that he shoplifted. They didn't even prove it. They tortured him to death, and then they're like, the cause of death was not the fact that we tortured him, it was the fact that he got some lung disease in the middle of torture, whatever. Yeah, so he was an 8-year-old child. Oh well, all these crimes just pass unheard. No one cares. I don't think Mubarak would be thinking about these crimes celebrating his 82nd birthday or giving his speech on May Day. What else? Okay, why is the US sponsoring the Egyptian dictatorship? The US is sponsoring the Egyptian dictatorship because it's useful. Mubarak is pretty useful. He's useful in the Israeli crisis. He lets them liberalize whatever they want. He lets them torture whoever they want on our soil. He lets their companies in, whatever. Our military is supported by $1.7 billion per year by the US government. I don't think the Egyptian military will be fighting for Egyptians. I think these weapons will be used against Egyptians someday when the Egyptians decide to revolt, because I don't think that the Egyptians can handle this pain much longer. We've been living under this dictatorship for just way too long, and when Mubarak passes, we'll have Gamal. It's pretty obvious. I mean, they got him on Fox News. Oh, the lady was just jumping up and down. They got him on CNN, and they got him on France 24. I like the France 24 interview. The lady was trying to get some information out of him. She wasn't a cheerleader. I like that. But you can see his strategy. He's trying to get Western support by seeming to be a pretty intelligent, a moderate guy. He's not moderate. He kept on repeating the last 5 years. What has happened in the last 5 years? Okay, I'll tell you what has happened in the last 5 years. There was a lot of labor unrest, huge privatization of important industries, a lot of loss of jobs, a lot of poverty. Egypt has been destroyed in the last 5 years. But I think Gamal likes that. I think Gamal likes the idea of a utopian capitalist system where he and his buddies just hang out and eat whatever they want and steal lands from whatever peasants they would like to steal their lands from. They do that already, so whatever. What more can I say? I hope Hosni Mubarak has a happy birthday. So all I'm gonna say is Eid Mubarak ya Abu al-Fasad. Bye. Voila. See ya.